know exactly what you need to say, but you're afraid that it's going to come off too harsh. And there's this little voice inside of you saying, no, don't do it. What do you need to do? You need to put your inner worrier in perspective. Outcomes. So when that fear comes up, here's the straightforward tip. Grab a pen and actually sit down and write out what it's telling you. Is it an actual bullet point of, well, if you say this, then they'll feel this way. And if you do this, then they'll do that way. Great. You actually want that information because then you can solidly prepare for that. If, however, it's just a general, they're going to hate you forever, you can't, you need to interrogate that feeling a little bit. Hey everybody, Allison Gardner here. Now, have you been in that situation where you knew that it was time for the conversation, but you just weren't ready to have it because all of these fears were showing up and all of these concerns about what people would think and what you do and how to do it? Well, first, find a communications expert like myself so that you know how to say what you want to say. But even before that, you need to put your inner worrier in perspective. You need to really look. So often we get so caught up in our fear and we just run off that fear instinct that we never actually look at what our fear is telling us. And our fear has a lot to say. And I'm not saying that you actually act on what it's telling you, because that's what we do all the time. We hear this warning bell of fear, and so we run off. We know we need to have a conversation at work. We know we need to have a conversation with a partner, but we're afraid to do that because of the outcomes. So when that fear comes up, here's the straightforward tip. Grab a pen and actually sit down and write out what it's telling you. Is it an actual bullet point of, well, if you say this, then they'll feel this way. And if you do this, then they'll do that way. Great. You actually want that information because then you can solidly prepare for that. If, however, it's just a general, they're going to hate you forever, you can't, you need to interrogate that feeling a little bit. I was talking to a friend the other day, and they mentioned that every week they would have this thing called companionship inventory. And every week he never said what he actually felt needed to be said for the other person's growth and for his own growth. So often we get confused because we're like, well, I can't force another person to change. No, and you shouldn't try. Like, a lot of life is ourselves growing and ourselves learning and gaining new perspective. Totally gonna own that every day of the week. However, if we go around having the meeting after the meeting because we didn't speak up in the meeting, that's a problem. If we're complaining that things never change, but we're not actually talking directly to the person that has control over that change, guess what? It's on us. And so we need to do the work that instead of letting our fears run us, we sit down and we look at our fears. And if our fear is they hate me, then you look at how to structure those kind of conversations. And you say, because I value you and I value the work that I want us to do together, I want to be able to solve this together. These are the issues that I'm seeing. This is the effect that they have. Can you and I talk about how to make it different? And it's not pointing a finger at the person talking about how awful they are or how annoyed they are. It's saying, these are things I'm seeing. This is their impact. Can we do something different? And then you work out the something different together. In the follow-up video to this, I want to talk about what to do with our emotions. Because the flip side of this is it's not just our fear that stops us. We also don't want to blow up all over the person. Good, because your emotions are meant for paper, or they're meant for steering wheels, or they're meant for the outdoors. They're not meant for the people around us. So in this next video, I'm going to talk about how to gainfully and helpfully feel our emotions so we're not throwing them at other people. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.